Today we're going to be angelic. Now that's not a word I often hear. Hi, I'm Gabby and welcome back to another edition of The Fragrantician, where we talk about nothing but fragrance. So today we are talking about a little beauty, a little angel, and it is a little angel because it's none other than Dua, Angelic Elixir. Now this fragrance I have had a while and I have not worn it a lot, but on the times that I have worn it, I absolutely love it. But I will say this fragrance is an expression of an inspiration, a dupe, a clone, if you will, of Kilian Angels' Share. But this is Angelic Elixir, so this is Dua's version. Now, as we know, I love Dua fragrances. They are slowly growing in my collection, and the reason why I love them is because they are fairly affordable. I mean, they are 30ml extrait de parfums, and they are in these little 30ml bottles. But because they're an extrait de parfum, they are stronger than an eau de parfum. And I love the affordability and the flexibility that it gives to the consumer, which is really good because I don't really want to spend £200 or £300 on a fragrance. It's not always in my budget. It's not in everybody's budget. So, some yes, but for some not. So, what fragrance is this all about? So the accords are warm, spicy, cinnamon, woody, vanilla, and sweet. Let's spray this and see what it's like. This on paper is really lovely. Do you know what? It reminds me of Calvados, which is apple brandy. There's not apple in here, but it has that appley feel to it. It is quite cinnamony as well, and it has that cinnamon vibe with vanilla. Very lovely and sweet and creamy, and it's a delectable fragrance. This is projects and lasts for hours. This has lovely sillage, beautiful sillage. It is, I would say, only for me appropriate for autumn and winter, but you can wear it all year round if you want to. But for me, it's an autumn winter scent. It's a cozy scent. It's when you just want to just wrap up and just put layers on. And I mean, we're in the middle of summer now, but who knows what the English weather's going to be like. It could be raining and cold one day, and this fragrance you could just rock out. As I say, it lasts a long time on the skin. On me it lasts a good 8 hours, but that brandy is the star. And a lot of fragrances now are using whiskey or brandy, or they're using notes that are like a liqueur style. It's become a little bit of a trend, and some of them I really like and some of them I don't really like, but I love this because it has like an appley feel to it, even though there's no apple in. And I know there is another fragrance called Pomme Trompée, which is a dupe or a clone of Kilian's apple brandy. But I would say Angelic Elixir, it suffices for me. It does the job. I can detect a little bit of praline in this as well, which is a bit of chocolatey woodiness. Not chocolate, not actual chocolate itself, but it's got a bit of nuttiness to it as well, which I quite like to it. I don't know if you remember, or if you do eat like fruit and nuts, like dairy milk fruit and nut. It's like that, but it's like, you know, a grown-up version of fruit and nut, and somebody has injected a shot of brandy into it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like Cadbury's dairy milk fruit and nut with a shot of Calvados apple brandy. I think I detect a little bit of oak in there as well, so it's got again that woody feel to it as well, and it's not leathery, but it almost verges onto that territory. So if you do like slightly, on my skin it goes slightly leathery, although there's no leather in this. I quite like that. It has a juxtaposed position of a bit of warmth and a bit of coldness and then a bit of warmth in there, and I don't know if that's the oak in there, but see, on paper it doesn't, but on my skin it does. But the sweetness from the brandy and the tonka bean and the vanilla is absolute heaven. It's joyous. It's a chorus of angels. This is completely unisex. It's not feminine, it's not masculine. Any age could wear this, any gender could wear this, whatever, wherever, whenever. But for me, I will only reserve this, as I said, for autumn and winter. I think it's just a bit too strong in summertime. It's too sweet, and I think it would verge on slightly too cloying if you oversprayed this fragrance because of that cinnamon and brandy note in there. The tonka bean, I like tonka bean, but tonka bean can go quite sweet on my skin, so I would be careful in the high heat. But just imagine you're in a coffee shop in Prague or somewhere else in Europe, Central Europe, or wherever in Europe, and you're drinking a latte or a hot chocolate, and this has got those vibes. It reminds me of Cafe Bells Cafe Bells is a place we used to go to in Prague. Cafe Bells isn't called Cafe Bells at all. It's a nickname that my husband and I nicknamed this place because it was a cafe in Prague and it was surrounded by lots and lots of bells, and drinking a little hot toddy and having a warm donut or a warm croissant. This fragrance is perfectly matched with it. I absolutely adore it. As I say, this has fantastic longevity, fantastic sillage. You do not need to overspray it. Like with all Dua fragrances, they are long lasting. The ones that I have, they are all beast fragrances, so you don't need to overspray with a Dua fragrance because it does the job, and I love them so much. So, what are your favourite Dua fragrances? Have you got Angelic Elixir? Have you tried it against Kilian's Angels share, which I have? I did sample it, which I really did like, but I didn't want to spend the money. I wanted to buy a clone of it because that's what I wanted to do. But are you of the opinion that you don't like clones or dupes? That's absolutely fine, but for me, it's all about affordability, it's all about flexibility, and do whatever makes you happy. But until the next time, you've been watching another edition of The Fragrantician, and I will see you in the next video. So keep spraying, keep spreading the love, and don't forget, don't just spread your love, but just spread everything. Ciao!